Welcome to day 2 of my hostile divorce advice series. Today we're going over the why. Why are we leaving this toxic person? An even better question to ask is, why are we choosing love over hate? Alright, this is where I jump on my hippie soapbox. So let me start off with a story I heard when I was in a divorce support group. There was a woman there who was in her 40s going through a divorce herself. What is very interesting about this woman is that she experienced her parents divorcing when she was only a child. So she could provide a unique perspective that really no one else could. How do children view divorce? Well, her experiences weren't very good. First, she mentioned how stressful it was to be on the stand, having to decide which parent she wanted to be with. Like any teenage girl in her 80s, and not in the 80s and 90s would answer, it was to stay in the house they were living in so their phone number would not change. That's right, this girl really had no preference. She just cared about being able to stay in touch with her friends and living nearby them. She didn't choose her mom or dad. She chose whoever gets the house. Anyhow, a few years go by and she's in college. Unfortunately, she gets an adult version of chickenpox. This affects adults far worse than children, and the doctor recommends some medicine to keep her symptoms mild and shorten her sickness, and also to prevent her from becoming hospitalized. She goes to the pharmacy, and they tell her that there is a $100 copay for her medicine. Like most broke college students, she really didn't have the money. Naturally, she called her parents. First, she called her dad and explained the situation. His response: "Well, your mom saved all those years for your college, and now here you are stuck paying for college yourself. How about you call and ask her for some of the money she never gave you so you can pay for this medicine?" Click. Okay, so that was a hopeless phone call. Then she calls her mom. Her response: "Well, your dad just changed jobs and got the cheap healthcare plan that is asking for a $100 copay for this medicine. This is ridiculous. Since it's his cheap healthcare plan, have him pay for it." Click. And so there she was, alone, far away, sick, away from her family and any support, and no one willing to wire her the money that she needed for a potentially fatal illness. She ended up asking her friends for some money and ended up paying it back later on. But still, this was very embarrassing. What are the chances that she spends time with her parents now? Makes phone calls to them on a regular basis? Goes over there for holidays or birthdays? I would say it's very low. Here we have two parents that hate each other so much that they wouldn't even help their sick daughter. This girl didn't have two loving parents. Heck, I doubt she even had one loving parent. This was a divorce between two abusive or toxic parents willing to put it all on the line to win, without realizing that the fight will end up spoiling the prize. The prize being able to show love and have a healthy relationship with their child. It happens all too much in high conflict divorce battles, which leads me into the subject of describing the different types of hostile divorce situations. Actually, not even hostile. Some of them are not hostile. You can pretty much sum up all divorce cases with these 6 scenarios. Scenario 1: a loving parent versus a loving parent. In this scenario, which is about 80% of all divorces, these are amicable situations where the parties settle outside of court. There is no need for a judge to intervene. This is what I call a winning situation. And then there are the 5 remaining scenarios that are hostile and extremely difficult to judge. There is the loving parent versus the abusive parent. There is the abusive parent versus the abusive parent, like what we just saw in the scenario I provided. There is the loving parent against the neglectful parent. There is the abusive parent against the neglectful parent. There is the neglectful parent against the neglectful parent. All of these scenarios are very difficult to judge because at times, even a loving parent may appear to be abusive when responding to an abusive parent's email. And sometimes an abusive parent knows how to mimic what love looks like so well that they appear to be loving, but outside the courtroom, they are full of nothing but hate. Innocent people act guilty all of the time, mostly out of spite for their accuser. Guilty people act innocent all the time because they lack the emotion to express guilt and all of its related emotions. I do not envy a family court judge's job, and neither should you. But you should do your best to improve yourself. Find ways to spend more time loving your children and creating a healthy relationship than hating your ex-spouse. And if you are the abusive or neglectful type, get help. Times are changing, and no longer can courts revoke custody on grounds of mental illness. If you have a mental illness or believe you have one, again, get help. It is far, far easier to get help than it is to continue on this way of anxiety, regret, and confusion. In this series, I hope to share with you the mechanisms and methods I used to keep my sanity, to de-escalate conflict with my abusive ex-wife, and above all, to spend quality time with my children in a loving way. Today, I can honestly say that my children come to me first when they need help with a problem. They know I am less judgmental than their mother. They know I will help them. And I know if they are ever stranded in another town, sick and needing money for medicine, that I will be there to wire them money. I'm confident that they know that too. After all, what is the point of getting away from a toxic situation if you're not willing to show love and be healthy yourself? To get rid of the unhealthy burdens of other people and find purpose in life again. I want to stress that this is a common theme in the Hostile Divorce Advice series. I will not be guiding you to fight your abusive ex-wife just to take jabs at her. No. I'm providing this series because I'm sick and tired of men complaining about a system that is allegedly broken. Yet over and over again, I'm finding men making mistake after mistake because they have a complete lack of discipline and a complete lack of belief. They don't believe that it is possible for men to earn primary custody against their abusive ex-wife. And yet here I am, doing just that. I'm here to stop this narrative. There is hope. There are men winning. And there are loving parents every day who defy the forces of evil that wish to harm their children. These forces of evil who claim to be parents. I'm here to provide the tools necessary to enable a loving relationship with your children, and for you to love yourself. If you're looking for someone to guide you through divorce, I'm here to help. If you're looking for someone to manage the insanity of hostile divorces, then I'm here to help. If you're looking to make sense of the hostile behavior of your abusive ex-spouse, then I'm here to help. If you're looking to hear stories, not just from me, but from others too, then I'm here to help. But I warn you, there are other things that I'm not willing to do. If you're here to looking for an avenue to make fun of women and insult feminism, look elsewhere. If you're looking to create enemies, look elsewhere. If you're looking for ways to antagonize your ex-spouse, look elsewhere. If you're looking for ways to advance your custody battle without working on yourself or your relationship with your children, look elsewhere. If you're looking to play victim, look elsewhere. I'm here for one purpose only. I went through hell and back to protect my children. I am here to share my story in hopes of helping other men and women who find themselves in the same situation I was once in. I am one of the 20% of men whose custody judgment came out favorably. Note that I said favorably. I did not win custody. I do not believe in that term. When you are in a custody battle, your children have already lost. A winning situation looks like this. Two loving parents coming to a mutual agreement to share time with children where the courts need not to intervene. Your children have already lost. I'm here to help you. Show them that there is still love in the world. That's it. But it is a lot. Your children will have one of the roughest childhoods imaginable. That doesn't mean there isn't hope. I read an article in Psychology Today that explained how children beat the odds after such rough childhoods. Do you know what it was? There was always somebody there to love them. It looks harder than it really is. Fighting for custody, that is. The human spirit has overcome greater challenges. I can think of no other challenge that is more difficult than a family whose parents are fighting over custody. And my family has been through some big challenges. But like many challenges, with the right support, the challenge is far easier than it looks. I believe that you can do this. I'm here to support you, and that is the purpose of my Hostile Divorce Advice series, to guide men and women who are going through high conflict divorce battles. I will share my story, my advice, and other people's stories and their advice. In the next video, I'll be discussing when it is appropriate to take action. If you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. Once again, thank you.